Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor Part 91 based on novel. So let's start. The night was silent, and soon dawn would come, and with the birth of a little afterglow, it also heralded the beginning of a new day. In the early morning, when the afterglow of the sun scatters over Xianling City, there are also huge crowds in Xianling City. Because they all know what day is today. Today is the prosperous world of the entire Xian Santian, the auction. A once-in-a-decade auction. Every time there is an auction, there will be some extremely amazing things. So this auction of the Xianling royal family can be regarded as a rare prosperity in the entire Xiansan 3 days. The auction of the Xianling royal family is divided into 5 auction venues of Xiantiandi Xianhuang. Immortal level auction house. The people who can enter this are undoubtedly the heads, or core backbones of major forces. Of course, this immortal level auction house is also the largest auction house for the Xianling royal family, and many rare treasures are also from here. It was circulated in the auction house. As for the one lower than this, it is a heaven-level auction house. Those who can enter the heaven-level auction are undoubtedly some prominent figures in the entire Xian Santian. Although the heaven-level auction is not as general as the Pharaoh-level auction, sometimes there are some very good things. The presenter is the prefecture-level auction ground. Most of the words here are the distances of some mercenary groups, and most of the auctions are some healing elixir, and some strange things. As for the Xian level and Huang level auction houses, they are open around the clock. Let's go. Xiao Yan also walked out of the room slowly, then passed by Mu Yingying's room and knocked on the door lightly. Obviously, after what happened yesterday, Xiao Yan was quite concerned about this Mu Yingying, and always felt that this Mu Yingying seemed to have some secrets, but it was hard to ask. En. There was also a heart-like sound like a silver bell in the room, and then a pure white jade hand slowly opened the door. You are very beautiful today. Xiao Yang was also amazed by the sudden beauty of Mu Yingying. In the past, Mu Yingying wore a Ru skirt most of the time, and her hair was also straight up. First, it was for the convenience of cultivation, and second, it was also for the convenience of walking. It's just that today's Mu Yingying has an invisible fragrance all over her body, and her hair is also exquisitely dressed. A pair of silver hairpins also dress up her hair very beautifully, with long eyelashes, and slightly moving beautiful eyes blinking. The top of her lips is also glowing with color, and her clavicle is looming, which is extremely attractive. Let's go. Before Xiao Yang could turn around, Mu Yingying also put on a large windbreaker, perfectly covering the exposed shoulder and collarbone. Cough, cough. Xiao Yang coughed a few times when he saw this, and then went down with Mu Yingying. On the first floor of the inn, Lao Zhu and Mu Feng were already waiting here. Let's go if you have nothing to do. Elder Zhu also glanced at Mu Yingying and said. Mu Feng also stared at Mu Yingying and Xiao Yang for a while, and found that the two of them were strange at this time, but they didn't speak, and kept up with Zhu Lao's pace. The group of 4 had just left the inn and came to Xianling City on the road leading to the Xianling royal family auction. Wow, is there a mistake, so many people? Mu Feng was also surprised that his eyes were about to fall. In addition to ghosts, it was the first time that Mu Feng saw so many people gather towards the place. This is just the tip of the iceberg. After all, the auction sponsored by the Xianling royal family is held once every 10 years, and it is quite a grand and prosperous world throughout the entire Xiansan 3 days. So such a scene is not surprising. Zhu Lao also smiled. Obviously, because of the disapproval of the Xianling royal family yesterday, Zhu Lao's mood has also improved a lot. Moreover, Elder Zhu also exposed his strength to the eyes of the Xianling royal family, half immortal. If the Xianling royal family has any other thoughts, they must first weigh their own abilities. After all, Elder Zhu still has another identity, a battle formation master. That's why Zhu Lao had already planned to do this. When Xiao Yang heard this, he also looked away, staring at the pedestrian path where people came and went. Well, anyone who patrols is at the level of a 5-star Do-D. The next moment, Xiao Yang also discovered that there were many soldiers in armor maintaining order on the road. These soldiers, without exception, are all wearing heavy armor, but this does not affect their efficiency in the slightest, and they are well behaved, and it is obvious that they are professionally trained. Tiger Head. Anyone from the Tiger Tooth Army? Xiao Yang also noticed that these soldiers had tiger heads carved on their shoulders, and immediately said to himself, I can't believe that this time, even the people from the Huya Legion have been transferred as soldiers to maintain order. The Xianling royal family seems to have a lot of money this time. Zhu Lao also found the tiger on the shoulders of the soldiers, who were patrolling and maintaining order. The head is immediately the Dao. Old Zhu, what exactly is there in this auction? Mu Feng also asked curiously. Don't look at me, even I don't know anything about this auction. Since the Xianling royal family has mobilized the Huya Legion, the Wolf Eagle Legion will definitely not be idle, and what is being auctioned at this auction, let alone me, even the Xianling king may not know. The secret work of the Xianling royal family is very well done. At the end of the sentence, Zhu Lao also said with some envy. It's here. Just after speaking, several people came to a behemoth. In front of this behemoth, the figures of Xiao Yang and the others were as small as ants. It was a huge building occupying the entire hill. The building is all grey, and about several hundred meters in size. From the outside, it looks like a watermelon was cut from the middle, and it stands in an oval shape on the top of the mountain. In the center of the oval building, a huge immortal character slowly stands in front of everyone. Even from a long distance away, Xiao Yang could still feel the enormity and grandeur of this immortal-level auction house. This is just the periphery of an auction hall. It is so grand, I really can't imagine what the situation will be inside. This Pharaoh-level auction house was originally abolished by the Xianling royal family, so I asked people from the Tujia people to build it. Old Zhu's voice also sounded slowly. Tujia. I hope it won't be such a coincidence. Xiao Yang heard the words and seemed to be thoughtful. Because Xiao Yang clearly remembered that the unruly girl he met in the medicine market was also wearing a jade pendant with earth characters engraved on his waist. Combining the thick fighting spirit on her body, all the signs indicate that the woman seems to be a Tujia. This Tujia is very prosperous in the Xianling royal family. Xiao Yang didn't want to have too many grudges with them, and he didn't think about it. However, Xiao Yang also did not think about the mental loss that the lion said and the girl asked for. Right as a joke. Teacher. Tu Ling also came to the foot of the Pharaoh-level auction house, and immediately said to the old man in front of him. Well, this is the mental loss fee that the alchemist needs. You can give it to him when you see him later. Tu Ling's teacher also said absent-mindedly. When I went back, I was scolded by my family. Not to mention, this little princess, Tu Ling really likes to cause trouble. By the way, that person is from the Fenxiang pavilion, it seems to be Xiao Yang. The old man also said. Xiao Yang. You actually made this young lady embarrassed. I will definitely make you look good. After Tu Ling finished speaking, he also angrily took a collection ring prepared by his teacher, and then headed for the auction. Let's go to the auction first. Elder Zhu also said. At this time, Xiao Yang and the others were also standing at the foot of the mountain where the immortal grade auction house was located, and they couldn't help being a little shocked. I am afraid that the cost of this huge mountain range of hundreds of feet is quite high. Let's go. Xiao Yang and the others were not procrastinators, they answered and walked straight away. This auction house is located on the top of the mountain, and if they want to enter, they need to climb the mountain range. But the Xianling royal family considered that the people who came to the immortal level auction site today are all powerful figures of great power, and immediately cancelled the immortal level auction. There was no air ban outside the field, so several people also flew directly. After a while, several people also came to the mountaintop entrance of the immortal grade auction house. When we came to the top of the mountain, the huge auction hall also came into view. Everyone could only see a small entrance door. The others were blocked by rocks. Then, at the entrance of the auction hall, a red carpet of dozens of meters was also paving the way. Out, it is obviously very stylish. Then at the entrance, several women with hot bodies and thin waists greeted those who came to the auction with a smile. Xiao Yang is also slightly skeptical at the moment, and found that these women with extremely hot statures reveal a charm from their bones. This kind of thing is obviously a special training on how to bring out their own charm to the greatest extent. Young Master Sun, it's early today. Just as Xiao Yang and the others approached the entrance slowly, a soft voice also appeared. The one who spoke was one of the hot-figured women, and from time to time, he secretly greeted the man. It's not too early. The man called Sun Gongzi was dressed in armor, and the armor covered his whole body, and then only a pair of women stared at the woman in front of him with strange eyes. If such a woman was taken down on the bed by himself when he groaned softly. It's just that this idea only lasted for a moment and disappeared without a trace, because he also knew that these women are not selling their bodies. The princes of the royal family cannot escape. This grandson is obviously also a prominent figure in the Xianling royal family. This person is actually a mid-stage 5-star fighting emperor. Xiao Yang also discovered the strength of this grandson, and immediately was secretly amazed. It is said that within the Xianling royal family, there are two extremely large families, one is the Tujia family, and the other is the Sun family. The Tujia is responsible for almost all the buildings of the Xianling royal family and Xianling city, and this Sun family is responsible for the guard of Xianling city, but to be honest, this Sun family and Tujia, or Tujia, let the entire Xianling royal family and Xianling city even more. The people of Lingcheng are quite fond of it. After all, this Tujia built the Great Wall of 10,000 miles, and successfully resisted the invasion of the Medusa clan. For the Xianling royal family and Xianling city, a lot of peace was thrown on the streets. So this Tujia also it can be regarded as the only hero in this Xianling royal family. Master Sun is already inside, he asked me to tell you, hurry in when you come. The sweet woman also said slowly. Understood. Sun Gongzi also responded directly, and then his body slightly turned his head and stared at Xiao Yang and a few people not far behind him. It was a group of 4 people, 3 men and 1 woman. 2 young men also walked slowly towards here. An elderly man was looking around lazily. What attracted Sun Xiong the most was that woman. The girl was quite handsome, with a slightly undulating chest and long eyelashes. An indescribable feeling came out of Sun Xiong's heart. Even a veteran like Sun Xiong who spent years in the flowers couldn't help but be obsessed. Cough, cough. Mu Yingying seemed to have sensed Sun Xiong's gaze, and Mu Yingying also coughed a few times to remind her. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he had already discovered it, but he didn't make the first move. After all, this is an immortal level auction hall, and all the people who can enter here are some high-profile people. I don't know where this young lady's power is. Sun Xiong also retracted his gaze. Although the woman made him quite enthusiastic, he also knew that those who could enter this place were untouchable. Power, immediately asked. This? The girl at the door was also stunned by Sun Xiong's sudden question. Although they are serving the people who come to the auction, they are only acting as a guide. As for the distribution of the people participating in the auction and others, they have no detailed understanding of the power distribution of the people participating in the auction, so Sun Xiong's question is also a question. Ask 3. I don't know. How? Don't even give me Sun Xiong's face. Sun Xiong's eyes also changed slightly, and then he said extremely displeased. Master Sun, slaves don't dare. It's just that the above didn't tell us about these things. So? The woman also said hesitantly. Although this Sun family only acts as a guard above the Xianling royal family, its strength should not be underestimated, because the Sun family lives in an 8-star fighting emperor level powerhouse. So no matter who she is a small, even the little servants can't afford to provoke them. Aren't you afraid of courting death, if you provoke me? Sun Xiong felt a little angry as soon as he finished speaking, then raised his palm and slapped him directly. This is a blow from a mid-stage 5-star Do Di. If it goes on like this, I'm afraid this girl's situation will be more fortunate than fortunate. Humph. Sun Xiong, you actually bullied a woman. Aren't you ashamed when you spread it out? A sullen look spread out instantly, and then a woman with a rather elf-like appearance also appeared, blocking Sun Xiong's attack. Miss Tu Ling, thank you. The girl also said in a panic, fortunately she was fine. Humph. Tu Ling, don't meddle in your own business, otherwise. Sun Xiong also snorted coldly. Otherwise what? Tu Ling also looked like he was not afraid of the sky tilde, and then said directly to Sun Xiong. I'm too lazy to argue with you, let's say goodbye. After Sun Xiong finished speaking, he also directly entered the immortal rank auction. Here, Xiao Yang, this is the mental loss from the past. Seeing Sun Xiong leaving, Tu Ling asked if the running girl was injured, then walked towards Xiao Yang slowly and took out one. The low-level acceptance ring was directly handed to Xiao Yang. This? I understand Miss Tu's kindness, but it was all a joke before. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also shied away. Previously, this earth spirit gave him the feeling of being rude. Unexpectedly, the sense of justice was still quite strong at this time. The scene just now clearly made Xiao Yang quite fond of the image of this earth spirit. Just take it, it's my fault for what happened before. Tu Ling was not at all displeased. After all, in his own Tu family, there are very few people of his generation who can make him look different. This Xiao Yang must be regarded as one of them. 1. Then it's better to be respectful than obedient. Xiao Yang was too lazy to pay attention to it. After all, he knew by virtue of his perception that there were several emperor-level pills in this ring. Although the value was extremely high, for this Tujia, it is also like a drop in the bucket. The man just now was Sun Xiong from the Sun family, another big family in the Xianling royal family. It is said that he has reached the mid-term strength of the 5-star Do Emperor at a young age, and has a vague attempt to replace his father. Continue. Sun Xiong. The corner of Xiao Yang's mouth moved slightly. Obviously, although this Sun Xiong was a mid-stage 5-star Do Emperor, Xiao Yang also had self-confidence. It seemed that Sun Xiong would not be much of a hindrance to him. However, the Sun family still has an 8-star Do Emperor strongman in charge, which is really terrifying. Xiao Yang also thought a little. Then if Sun Xiong is like this next time, I will definitely gouge out his eyes. Mu Yingying, who was beside him, said a little angrily. Obviously, Sun Xiong staring at her like that made her extremely uncomfortable. Comfortable. This should be the old Jew in the burning incense pavilion, right? The next moment, Tu Ling also floated his head, and said to the old Jew in front of Xiao Yang and the others. Hey, little doll, your eyesight is good. Old Zhu also opened his eyes slightly, then smiled. Previously, Elder Zhu had always closed his eyes, but the huge soul power and spiritual power had already spread all over the place, so he was very clear about what just happened. Tu Jia Tu Ling, I have seen Lord Zhu Jin. When Tu Ling heard this, he was also overjoyed, then stood upright and bowed to Zhu Lao 9. Nice little guy, if the Tu Jia has such excellent seedlings as you, it is considered a successor. Elder Zhu also said slowly. Little girl, wait for me. When Zhu Lao and Tu Ling were talking, an old man also appeared, and this old man was the master of Tu Ling, Tu Ling. Master, you are so slow. I already said that if you don't hurry up, you won't be able to catch up with Xiao Yang to discuss. Tu Ling also grabbed the arm of his master Tu Xingzhe, and said quite coquettishly. Your Excellency is here, pay attention to the image. The Earth Walker glared at the Earth Spirit, and then also said hello to Zhu Lao. Ula tilde, when Tu Ling heard the words, he also made a grimace at his master Tu Xingzhe, and his appearance was quite funny, which made Xiao Yang and the others burst into laughter. It's not too early, let's go in together. The Soil Walker also opened his mouth and said, obviously it's not good to be at the entrance of this auction hall all the time. En. Elder Zhu responded, and when the group of 6 was about to enter the auction, 2 women with a rather gloomy aura appeared behind them. The aura of these 2 people seems a little strange, a little bit different from the people in our Xiantian center. The Earth Walker also tightened his expression and said, 2 extremely outstanding women also came towards the entrance of the auction. The 2 women were slender and wore veils to hide their appearance, but surprisingly, the ankles of the 2 women were exposed. No shoes were worn at all, and a string of bells were wrapped around the ankles, but when the 2 walked, the bells did not make any sound. Cough cough cough. The vindictiveness on this person seems to be extremely poisonous. In the next moment, Tu Ling also quietly used his strength and went to investigate the 2 women, but he was unexpectedly attacked by the green vindictiveness on the 2 women's bodies. To a trace of backlash. The front with the heavy ruler on his back doesn't seem to be easy. The fighting chi in the body is actually suppressing me faintly. It seems that they noticed what the Earth Spirit was doing, and the 2 women also appeared on their bodies at the same time. Do Chi, and then one of the women also questioned Xiao Yang. That should be a person from the poison sect in the wild land east of Zhuangtianshan. Elder Zhu, who has always been taciturn, also said. Poison sect. Evil poisonous body. Xiao Yang was also shocked when he heard this. When I just came to this Dodi continent, the first woman I met, Qing Yuan also told me that there is such a terrifying sect on this Xianling continent, the poison sect. Its sected is a person with a poisonous body. The little doctor immortal on the Do Chi continent doesn't know how to get it. Or that woman named Qing Yuan is still fine. Poison sect. The sect master of the poison sect is a ruthless man. However, the poison sect has long since retired to the barren land for hundreds of years. Regardless of the major event of Xian Santian, it is really strange that he will come to participate in the auction of the Xianling royal family. The soil traveler also touched with his long beard. No wonder the vindictiveness on their bodies is extremely poisonous. At this time, the Earth Spirit, because of the rash test just now, also caused the poison gas to enter the body, and the complexion turned pale. Take it, it's nothing to get involved in. Xiao Yang also gave Tu Ling a helpless glance, then took out an elixir from Naji in his hand, and slowly handed it to Tu Ling. Tu Ling also took it directly, without hesitation, he swallowed it directly. With the swallowing of this medicinal pill, Tu Ling's complexion also improved instantly, and the displeasure of the poison gas entering his body disappeared without a trace. Xiao Yan's medicinal pills were left behind when he treated the little medical immortals, so for the people of this poison sect, it also has a very strong effect of removing toxins. Please don't try, Your Excellency, we are acting on orders. The green vindictiveness of the two women slowly emerged, and the next moment, the vindictiveness outside the body also disappeared, but the two were facing Xiao Yang and the others. At the same time, he spoke. He, all the people from the poison sect have come from afar. As the two Jia, we naturally want to have a little bit of the friendship of the landlords. It was just a little misunderstanding. The Earth Walker also stood up and laughed, and then rolled his eyes at the Earth Spirit beside him. This little girl is really a troublemaker. She can cause trouble wherever she goes. Do you know that we are members of the poison sect? Among the two women, one woman was also full of unbelievable words. The poison sect's poisonous fighting chi is the best in the world. I'm afraid there are not many people who don't know each other in the entire Shenzhen 3 days. The Earth Walker also said. Tu Jia. One of the two women also murmured. Senior sister, let me do my business first. Tilda. Another woman also said. Yep. Everyone, we have other things on us, so let's go first. After the woman finished speaking, she also dragged the woman next to her, and entered the auction room directly. It's just that when the two women were about to enter the auction, they turned to look at Xiao Yang, and they were obviously interested in this person. Senior sister, what's wrong? The woman next to her also asked slightly. It's all right. It's just that I suddenly felt that the man with the heavy ruler had an uncomplicated aura. Another woman also said. After the two finished speaking, they also disappeared at the entrance. It seems that this poison sect has discovered something. When I deal with the matter of the perfect Jusha clan, I really should go and take a look. After all, the relationship between our Fenxiang Pavilion and poison sect was quite friendly at the beginning. Zhong disappeared. Zhu Lao also said slowly in his heart. This auction is probably the most prosperous for the Xianling royal family in the past 100 years. I can't believe that the poisonous sect is so powerful. Let's go, a few little fellows, let's open your eyes and see what an auction is prosperous. Elder Zhu also said with a smile, and then led a few people towards the auction. Let's go too. This auction is mainly to give you rich eyesight. As for the auction, it is time to adapt accordingly. After the Earth Walker finished speaking, he also walked in directly with the Earth Spirit. Xiao Yang and his party also slowly came to the entrance of the auction house. Just came to the entrance, Zhu Lao also took out 3 tokens and handed them directly to the reception girl. The token in old Zhu's hand just appeared, and some of the girls in front of him also became quiet in an instant. Obviously, they were shocked by the token in old Zhu's hand. Sir, please come with me. Another girl also took the token in old Zhu's hand, then jumped in with a few mermaids, and headed straight for the interior of the auction. These people actually have the highest standard tokens, and I am afraid they are also the inheritance disciples of the super sect. As for this old man, he can lead them without the token, and I am afraid that he is also a senior elder of a certain sect. In the front, my heart is constantly thinking. Compared to the one just now, this girl is undoubtedly more mature, with a hint of charm that can be freely taken away, and the rabbit ears on her hair are also extremely cute. In addition to this sheer charm, it is a collection of cuteness and charm. In one, I am afraid that it is rare to get such a woman outside. Sir, I don't know if you're here this time. The girl also had an idea. Just when she was about to say something else, she was unexpectedly interrupted by Elder Zhu. Little baby, lead your way. Old Zhu said softly, but this was the voice in the girl's ears, and there was also a tremor in the depths of the soul. This old man's fighting spirit fluctuates so terribly. I'm afraid that the current King Xianling does not have such terrifying strength. The girl also put away her scheming, and then slowly said in her heart. A few people followed the lead girl into the auction house, and they found out that the size of the auction house is extremely large, and the roads inside are intricate and complicated. Mu Yingying also followed the girl closely, but for some unknown reason, Mu Yingying vaguely discovered that there seemed to be something unusual in this auction. Her slender eyebrows flickered slightly, and she shook her head the next moment. Then, not thinking. Here, my lord, this is your lounge. After the girl finished speaking, she also slowly took out a yellow key from her hand, and then opened the room in front of her. As soon as the room was opened, a rush of incense immediately spread out. Such incense is obviously not born from ordinary things. It seems that the Xianling royal family is really a big hand. Xiao Yan also secretly said, but he was also shocked by this incense. The next moment, Xiao Yan also looked around. This room has a space of nearly 100 square meters. Most of the spaces have extremely exquisite decorations, tea sets and seats are readily available, and a colorless and transparent energy wall also appears in front of them. From the colorless and transparent wall here, you can directly see the auction center. If you need to auction something or increase the price, just press this red button. The girl also said slightly. Let's go down. When old Zhu heard the words, he also said slightly. I wish you the satisfaction of taking pictures. The girl also tried her best to keep a smile, and then slowly exited the room. This Xianling royal family is really a big hand. Mu Feng was also secretly shocked. Obviously, the effect of this incense alone is to make them concentrate. Obviously, this incense is also extremely extraordinary, not to mention these expensive tables, chairs and benches. As for the most powerful one, it is probably the colorless and transparent wall in front of him. Mu Feng also closed the door directly, and then came to the side of the colorless and transparent wall. His eyes swept away, and the huge auction center also clearly appeared in Mu Feng's eyes. It seems that you can see the outside situation from the inside, but you can't see the inside situation from the outside. This Xianling royal family is really smart. One is to protect the privacy of the auctioneer, and the other is to prevent the conflict caused by the auctioneer's direct infighting. Mu Feng also praised. Dong dong dong. A series of knocks on the door also sounded. Who is it? Xiao Yang was also the first to say suddenly, when the door of the room was knocked on. My own person, come in. Elder Zhu also slowly sat on a soft seat, and said slowly. Old Zhu. The door to the room was gently pushed open, and a figure in black came in. Even with Xiao Yang's enormous soul power, he couldn't tell whether it was a man or a woman. However, Xiao Yang could vaguely sense the extremely hot fluctuations on the man in black, and the fluctuations in Do Qi were probably at the level of a 7-star Do Emperor. This should be regarded as your senior brother, B Sting. He is our undercover agent lurking in the Xianling royal family in the Fenxiang Pavilion. B Sting, how's the investigation going? Elder Zhu also said slowly. Reporting to my lord, things don't seem to be so simple. The Xianling royal family is not only planning this auction, but also mobilizing the entire dragon-loving legion. It seems that there is some big action against the Medusa family. And the person who was called the Bee Stinger was also hesitant to say anything. And what? Zhu Lao also realized the seriousness of the matter, and immediately said. In addition to cooperating with Solomon, the Xianling royal family seems to be involved with the Soul Clan. Bee Sting also said slowly. Soul Clan. At the next moment, a trace of doubt flickered in old Zhu's pupils. Obviously, he couldn't understand why the Xianling royal family had a cooperative relationship with this spirit clan. However, These small actions were still captured by Xiao Yan, and the corner of his mouth also whispered, "It seems that the power of the Soul Clan, on Duty Continent, is also not to be underestimated." Understood. You can go back tilde so as not to reveal your whereabouts. Remember, life safety is the main priority. Zhu Lao also said with a smile. Yes, Elder Zhu. After B. Stinger finished speaking, he also disappeared into the room. The atmosphere has always been weird. Xiao Yang was also the first to speak. Master, this senior brother B. Sting. This is what he forced himself. Elder Zhu also said slowly and helplessly. Maybe you don't know the relationship between our burning incense pavilion and the Xianling royal family, because our relationship is like water and fire. Okay, now is not the time to talk about this. When this auction is over, there will be an experience for you to complete together. After Zhu Lao finished speaking, he closed his eyes and slowly waited for the auction to start. Several people heard the words, although they all vaguely guessed that this experience might be related to the Xianling royal family, but their eyes dimmed and they didn't ask any more questions. It was so quiet that it only lasted for a few quarters of an hour. Through the colorless and transparent wall, Xiao Yang slowly saw a woman with an extremely hot body on the dazzling crystal platform in the center of the auction. Appear. The woman's beautiful eyes glanced slightly, and then a bell rang. Is it finally going to start? With the sound of the bell, Elder Zhu, who had only closed his eyes, also opened his eyes and cast his eyes on the dazzling crystal stage in the center of the auction. This video will end here.